Hey guys, what's going on? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and welcome to this week's Good or Garbage. This is the #1 place where you can find out what weapons, mods, attachments, gear, and anything else that you may be looking for in the division is being sold. It also comes with my recommendations to help out newer agents and maybe people who are still struggling to figure out what kind of stuff they want for their builds and for their character. So there's quite a few things that are being sold this week, a lot of SMGs. So why don't we get in and take a look at these things, and hopefully we can find something good for you. Let's go. Starting at the special blueprint vendor for this week, we have the First Wave PF45 pistol, and we have the military M9 pistol. Two blueprints that I'm sure nobody is clamoring for. What a punch in the balls. Alright, so next we have the stamina knee pads, we have the stamina mask, we have the heavy magazine spring. This will give you an increase to your rate of fire. We have an advanced grip. This one gives you some extra stability. We have a firearms gear mod, and remember the gear mods go up to 267, and we have a performance gear mod. So if you need any of the performance gear mods or the firearms gear mods, then this is a perfect place to go and get them, and you can craft as many of them as you like. All right. The advanced weaponry vendor starting off has the Rhino Special. This one comes with responsive. Base damage looks pretty nice, but it is the Rhino, so not really the greatest sidearm. So moving right along, probably the star of the show this week for the advanced weaponry vendor is the Navy MP5N, one of my favorite SMGs. It has the max critical hit chance at 22.5. The base damage could be a little bit better. I have one with 21.1. But the talents on it are actually not too bad. We have Unforgiving, we have Hurried, and Adept. So if you're not running a skill build, this would probably be perfect because Adept is in the 3rd slot, so you could get it for free. And if you are spec'd into a little bit of stamina, maybe more survivability with stamina than with electronics, then Unforgiving could work out very, very well for you, giving you that extra damage when health gets low. Maybe switching out Hurried for something like Deadly, since you are going to be using Adept, could be a better option. But Hurried is still not bad. It'll give you quicker reload speeds, but still I would probably go with Deadly in that slot just to maximize the effectiveness of Adept. Now moving on to the tactical ACR, the enemy armor damage is at 18, base damage is 25.1. With this character we have Capable, Skilled, and Adept. Again, a little bit of the same, but unfortunately it has Skilled in the middle, so you will have to have a bit of high electronics for this weapon to work out, or you could re-roll it. Capable is not a bad talent to have to help keep your bullets in a better place, and the handling is improved, so that might be something worth looking at. The black market sausage has 332% stagger, plus it comes with competent, swift, and sustained. So competent is not too bad, sustained not a huge fan of it. Swift, if you can get it to proc, then it could be working for you, but I think a lot of people are running a little bit more glass cannon with the shotties, so don't know if that would work out. The SOCOM M1A, I think the one downstairs is a little bit better. The base damage here is a bit higher. It does come with competent and ferocious. This could be pretty good for PvE, so if you need a SOCOM M1A for PvE, this is probably your best bet since it only costs regular credits. The tactical M249 Para comes with 12% damage to targets out of cover, commanding, unforgiving, and skilled. Not really my highest recommendation for these weapons this week. The quick reload, the SR7 suppressor, the PEQ laser, and the 5.52 hollow. None of these really sparked me as something amazing. The hollow is okay with 7 crit chance and 6 damage, headshot damage. The suppressor is also okay at 17% critical hit damage, but that goes up to 19, and it does come with 3% crit chance. So it's okay, but yeah, it still could be a bit better. But if you need it, then definitely go ahead and grab it. Never shy away from something that's better than what you already have, especially if it only costs you regular credits. Alright, so let's see if there's anything else in the base worth talking about. I think I'm gonna pick up this MP7 just because. The Dark Zone gear vendor strikes again. This time he has the Police MK17. The base damage on it is pretty nice. The headshot damage on it is a bit low. It comes with brutal, vicious, and competent, but that's not why I brought you here. Now we're going to look at this operator's pack. It's a specialized bag, comes with ammo capacity. The skill power on it is not too bad. It's at 12,874. The max for bags is 13,339, so it's not too far off, and it comes with some stamina. I know stamina is not the most popular out of the three right now, but it is at 1269. So if you do need a stamina roll for something, for whatever talents or whatever you're looking for, this is pretty close to the max, which is 1272. So you may want to think about it. The armor roll on it isn't that great, but hey, it is what it is. Now the prototype performance mod is the sticky bomb damage with 3.4. I believe the max is 3.5. The max is 4, I believe. And the red dot sight, not really anything to write home about. The weapons vendor in the base of operations has a converted SMG9 that I thought I would recommend just based off of the talents. It comes with responsive, deadly, and fierce. Fierce giving you that crit hit chance, deadly giving you that crit hit damage, and responsive giving you more base damage just because you're closer to the enemy. Now personally, I don't really use the SMG9. It is not one of my favorites, but if you do use it and you do like it, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you like most about it and why you would recommend this weapon to someone else. Again, not really my thing, but the crit hit damage isn't bad either, and it does come with some pretty nice talents. In the Wolves Den, for you AK lovers out there, we've got a pretty decent AK being sold. The base damage is 30.2 with this character. I think it can be a little bit higher. The enemy armor damage on this is 21. It comes with ferocious, deadly, and adept. So adept and deadly are a very nice combo in my opinion. So having those two together is very nice, and having ferocious damage to elite and named enemies is increased by 10%. Could work out very well for you PvE players out there who are ready to get in there with the AK. Also remember that there is a bonus double XP, not XP, but a double rewards bonus for killing named enemies. So if you have ferocious, this could help you get even closer to those bonuses with more damage. So just something to throw out there. Don't forget about that little bonus for killing named NPCs this weekend. In Dante's run for the marksman out there, there's some pretty interesting gloves. We have some Astute Gloves. Yes, I know they're not Savage, but these Astute Gloves, the first 3 bullets in your magazine have a 5% higher chance to do crit hits. Now, the reason I'm bringing you guys here is because the marksman rifle damage is at 4,640. Now, the max that you can get for a marksman is 4,681. So you're only 41 points off of the maximum damage that you can get for gloves for that. Now we also have 7% enemy armor damage, and we have 16% crit hit damage, and the max crit hit damage that you can get is 17. So it's actually not that bad a pair of gloves. The only thing that's gonna kind of haunt you is the armor is a little bit low, and it does come with Astute instead of something like Savage. But if you are using a bolt action, you'll probably be firing a bit slower, and if you wanted to up your chances, you could shoot about 3 times and then reload and then get right back in there. Especially considering that some of the bolt actions only have 5 rounds in the magazine, it's actually not that bad. So if this seems like something appealing to you, then go ahead and check it out. If you do pick it up, leave a comment and let me know that you did. In the Grindhouse, as a quick side note for those of you who are looking for a little bit more stability for your weapon, there is an improved iron sight being sold that has 13.5 stability, 5.5 headshot damage, and 3% critical hit chance. If you need something like this, then go on over to the Grindhouse and check it out. Over in the Crypt, I actually said woo when I saw it. Man, we got an LVOA-C with some ridiculous base damage. This is absolutely the highest, and I'm not even joking. It's 1 point higher than mine, which is, yeah, the highest. The only problem is the enemy armor damage is at 19, and the talents are not the best, but that base damage is pretty sick. Now it does come with ferocious, it comes with determined, and it comes with intense. So intense, the first bullet of the magazine has a 25% chance to set your enemy on fire. Determined, killing a target reduces the cooldowns by 7.5%. And ferocious, damage to elites and named enemies is increased by 10%. But the star of the show for this weapon really is that base damage, because it is sick. So if you need an LVOA-C and you have some extra credits in your pocket and you'd like to have a little more base damage and you don't mind re-rolling some of this, then go ahead and do it. If you do decide to pick this up, let me know, what do you roll off and what do you keep? I'm not a huge fan of a lot of these. Intense I would probably keep, and determined I would probably keep. Ferocious is not the highest on my list, but for some people who specifically play PvE, that may be something worth having. But killing targets and having faster cooldowns could lead to some pretty interesting stuff, especially if you maybe roll ferocious off for something like adept. If you can get that to work out for you, then I think that could be pretty interesting, having faster cooldown so that you can keep proccing adept to have even more crit chance, and then having intense for the occasional comedic moment where you set someone on fire. Let me know what you guys decide to do. Do you pick this up? Do you give it a pass? Is it good? Is it garbage? Let your boy know. East 64th Street, we've got something specifically that, you know, some people may or may not be interested in. We have 2% pulse crit hit damage. This does not come up very often. I don't see this very often, and I know that some people who do like using pulse are probably looking for this. So if you are looking for pulse crit hit damage, you can go over to East 64th Street up in the DZ, around DZ 9, and pick that up. East 58th Street, I recommended some gloves for the marksmen out there, so I'm going to recommend some gloves for these assault rifle users. We have some Astute Gloves. Yes, we're back with Astutes. The armor on it is 938, and this time we have assault rifle damage at 1236. Now the max that you can get for assault rifle damage on gloves is 1334. So it's about a little bit under 100 points under the max damage that you can get for these. Now the critical hit damage is at the max at 17%, and the enemy armor damage is at 7.5, which is slightly under the max. So if you want to get some Astute Gloves and get 5% more crit hit chance just off of the first 3 bullets, then you can go ahead and grab that. I know a lot of people would rather have Savage Gloves, but I haven't seen any good Savage Gloves so far this week, so if I had to recommend some gloves so far, it'd be these. But stick around, maybe we will run into some Savage Gloves that are even better than these. Let's check it out. At East 53rd Street, there is a pretty nice little mod that's being sold. It's an electronics mod with 3% skill haste. It's 259 electronics and 3% skill haste, so that's pretty good. If you need it, go ahead, pick it up. West 39th Street, just throwing this out for the people looking for a little bit more oomph in their weapons. We've got a skill power based firearms mod. The mod is only at 251, which barely makes my minimum requirement. As a player, personally, I don't go for anything under 250. But then it has some skill power at 3,122, which is pretty decent and respectable. So if you need some skill power and you need a little bit of a bump in your firearms, then there you go. 5th Avenue, just as a quick little shout out, there is a Model 700 sniper rifle with some pretty nice base damage. The headshot damage on it is not that great at 155, but it does come with brutal, accurate, and elevated, which are not bad talents to have on a sniper rifle. I thought I would throw this out if anyone is looking for it, and also to bring some attention to a stamina mod that has 3% skill haste. This is 265 for stamina, so if you need something like that, definitely go down and check it out. In DZ2, there is a specialized bag that has some pretty nice skill power. The skill power on this is 13,055. The max that you can get for a bag is 13,339. So not too far off from the max. It does come with maximum bleed resistance at 17%. and it is a specialized bag. The armor on it is also pretty damn nice at 1330. It's rare to see something like this being sold, so I would definitely say if you need a specialized bag and you are running skill power, you may want to check this out. As a personal preference, I like to have ammo capacity, but if you need bleed resist, this is still pretty good since it is the max. Now the other thing worth talking about is they actually have a holster, the steadfast holster, which generates your health twice as fast when you're in cover. Not really nimble, yeah, I know, but look at the stats. 1261, 1261, 1159. Now if I was ever going to buy or recommend a holster, it would definitely be with some stats like this. Having 2 stats over the 1260 mark, plus having one that you can kind of wiggle around with, is not bad at all. Definitely worth looking at if you were ever interested in trying out steadfast. The thing about this though, the armor is only at 868, so it is what it is, but it does come with 18% reload speed to help you stay in the fight even faster. In DZ3, the vendor has a classic AK-47 that is being sold. The base damage is slightly higher than the AK that I mentioned earlier in this video. This one has a little bit less enemy armor damage, and the talents are swift, deadly, and focused. So if for any reason you don't want to run adept, maybe you want to run focused and get the regular base damage because you're not using cooldowns, then you could definitely go with this and go for deadly. The problem with this is going to be that you're going to need some crit hit chance to get that damage to be worth a damn. So you may want to roll something in the first slot that will give you some crit hit chance, maybe something like ferocious or something like that. But yeah, just make sure that you put something in there that's going to give you some crit hit chance, and then you should be good to go. That way you won't have to use any skills like adept to keep this 10% base damage working for you on this AK. Okay, up in DZ6, there is a defense mask being sold. Thought I would throw it out there for the people who are running with the shield. This has some pretty nice skill power on it at 9,939. The max that you can get for a mask is 10,030, so this is not far off from the max. It comes with 16% blind def, which is about 1 point off from the max. The armor on it is not the best, but it is still pretty decent in terms of the skill power. Now the next thing that they have is the Lone Star bag. If you are running Lone Star, the armor on it is pretty nice at 13 even. Then the electronics on it is still pretty good at 1267, and the crit hit damage is, I believe, at the max, well, a little bit, 1 point under the max, and then the bleed resistance is at 15%. I know some people like having bleed resistance on their bag, plus the armor is pretty good and crit hit damage is not bad, and also the electronics roll on it is pretty good. So if you need any of this stuff, go ahead to DZ6 and check it out. In DZ8, there's a pretty nice rapid chest piece. The armor is at 1,999, which is pretty decent. It comes with 9% skill haste, so I know a lot of people want the skill haste. Plus it comes with 15,171 health. Again, the chest piece, the max health is 16,674. So just keep that in mind. You're about 1,000 and a bit under, about 1,500 under. But still not bad. Rapid, again, there is a bug, but it is a UI bug. You do get your skills back faster. Plus you have 9% skill haste, so that would help out a lot. Now another thing we're talking about here is the Gunslingers Holster. It comes with recover. Damage taken during cover to cover is regenerated over 5 seconds, which is kind of lame, but look at these stat rolls. 1269 for firearms and 1271 for electronics. 1272 is the max for any of these, just so that you know. So the only thing you'd really have to re-roll is the health to get that up to snuff, and then it comes with 3.4% crit hit chance. So this is actually pretty good in my opinion, and the armor is not bad as well at 927. Alright, in DZ9, the final stop of the show, we've got the Predator's Mark Vest. This is probably, in terms of major attributes, a god roll in my opinion. We have enemy armor damage at 6%, and we have health at 16,218. Now the health that you get, the maximum you can have for a chest is 6,674. And the enemy armor damage is at the max 6%. Now if you do not like using this, if you're not running PvE, if you're running PvP, this is probably not for you. But having that high of a health roll is pretty good. The armor on it is pretty decent at 1970. I guess it's pretty lame to have minor attribute of increased skill XP. A lot of people don't really like it, but it is there if you are running for PvE content. If you're running a PvE stuff, then this could be really good for you. If you're running Predator's Mark, if you're running PvP, maybe not so much, but this is definitely God tier. Maybe not the best of the best, but it is pretty high up there in my opinion. And that will pretty much do it for this week's good or garbage. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there was anything that you picked up, please let me know in the comment section. What did you get? And if you re-rolled something on it, what did you re-roll and what did you put on it, and how is it helping your build? Sharing that information in the comments also helps out other people who are maybe even new to the game or still having trouble figuring out what they want to roll on their weapons, and it could help them make a better decision. So if that's something that you did, make sure you let us know. And on that note, I am Khan, Mr. So Real. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I do this every week, so why don't you come on back next week, and we'll see what other good things are going to be sold. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and all that other good stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend. Peace.